army tank here. It's a Churchill. I'm inside it right now, obviously. I think I'm in the commander's spot. I don't know why the track IR is not working. So this is the tank on the outside. It's only like $6.50 American money. So they hadn't figured out the sloping armour thing. But isn't it interesting? It's kind of like you've got this enclave here between the front wheels, the front tracks or whatever. So for terrain crossing, no doubt, but it kind of gives you probably a false sense of security if you're in between these enclaves. But then how are you supposed to see, especially if you're the driver, how are you supposed to see either side of you? You're like a blindfolded horse with the blinkers on, a horse with the blinkers on. So yeah, it's a Churchill tank. Let's try and drive it, I guess. Just have a quick look at this, and then we'll look at the two biplanes. I wish it was a sunnier day, we could see it in better detail. State of the art for early 1940s, I guess. Big heavy tank, isn't it? Reminds me a bit of a Stalin tank, the whatever that one was. So I mean, for $6.50 right now, it's a pretty good deal. This will come in handy for making cinematics and stuff. There is a good tank server. It's advanced and secure, I think. And it's a good tank server because they understand the principles of the tanks needing to be close enough together that you can get combat without driving for an hour and a half to get combat. Advanced and secure. Sorry, there's a bit of rain noise on the roof, but yeah, advanced and secure is a good tank server as far as tank servers go. You know, I've been saying for years that, you know, tanks' positions, spawn points need to be closer together. Well, advanced and secure is the only server that has tanks on it that actually listen to me in effectively. So they are now getting popular. I've got rudder pedals under the table. Can I use them to drive the tank? Might be interesting. No, it's not working. All right, so that's this really. It's probably got a 303 in the front, a 303 in the turret. It's got this gun here, probably a 2.5 inch gun or a 2 inch gun. So it's a long barrel, but it's not a very high caliber. So not the best tank. It's not a Tiger. It's not a Panther, but it is pretty good. But yeah, so it seems to have really thick front armor. So yeah, here's the interior. Not that hatch. So I've got a hatch here. Imagine that'd full on decapitate you, wouldn't it? That turret. I hate tanks. I wouldn't want to be in a tank. So here's someone else. Perhaps this is the driver. So there's your 303 there. And I mean, you got like plates, brass plates everywhere. Number 19 Mark 1 MTGMG. Little electric engine there for something. So got some ammo crate here. 225 cartridges, 180 ball, mark such and such. I think it's 303, don't you? So the crew is dressed the same as the Soviet crews, so they possibly haven't changed that around. This has got Soviet, it's got Russian, Cyrillic and English written on it. Wireless set 19. Did they use this in... Oh yeah, I heard that they used this tank in the Battle of Kursk. this tank here, the Churchill. There's a compass that looks familiar out of a lot of British planes. There's a radio, wireless radio set perhaps. Oh no, it looks like odometer. That's a speedo in miles per hour, up to 25 miles per hour. So back in the days when Britain actually made things in factories. Churchill, makers number During World War II, a relative of mine actually worked with Churchill and Stalin. He was the ambassador of the British Empire to Russia during World War II, and he personally knew Churchill, and this tank is called Churchill. Churchill was the British Prime Minister. More radio sets or something here. Pretty detailed, isn't it? Frequency. Back in the days before iPhones, you had that. Right, so there's your gunner or commander. So I think it's the same face model for all of the crew. I'm not exactly sure. Adjustment for Besser MG firing gear with gun pistol grip. Free pull right rack. So here's your gun. I mean, it's a pretty massive gun. Got ammo jam-packed everywhere. AP shot, it says on the back of it. Obviously that means armor piercing. They all say AP shot. More ammo stashed down here. It would really suck to be a tank, wouldn't it? So dangerous. War in general is dangerous. I mean, if you dominate the area, then you're fine. But if you're up against big enemy tanks or artillery, like, it's trouble. So here's probably what you call the commander's hatch. Got to watch out for like guerrillas and partisans running up to your commander's hatch that's open with a Molotov cocktail and chucking it inside. If you get out quick, that wouldn't be such a big deal, actually. But really what you've got to watch out for is like a Panzer force 30 meters away that just pops up out of the grass and goes bam. Then you're all basically finished. Yeah, so basically that's it. That's the tank. $6.50 odd US dollars right now, which is about $1 million Australian dollars. So it's a good deal, actually. Right, so that was a Churchill tank. Now let's look at a plane. It's this first one here is the SSW, and I'm going to fight against a something or other, Sopwith snipe, isn't it? Let me just change the weather. I don't want any clouds. Cloud. Clear, that's better. So yeah, I'll show you these planes. We've got a Sopwith Snipe, also on sale. It's all on sale, that's why I got it. Sopwith Snipe, like $6.50 US, and the Siemens Schuckart something, SSW, I think it is, abbreviated, $6.50 US. These are normally like 20 bucks each. All right, so here's the whatever this plane's called, SSW or something. It's got a bunch of stuff here. Actually get rid of that maybe. What about skins? Jasta. It's a pretty beefy plane. It has a 220 horsepower radial engine with a 4-bladed propeller. This represents the late war planes. So we're talking probably 1918 production, and I mean you can see it's a far cry from like a Taube, which was a 1913 military plane. The Taube means dove, or from say a Fokker Eindecker from around 1915. This is a 1918, far cry from a Fokker Eindecker. It's very sort of different very much heavier, stronger, more powerful engine. It has resolutely has the 2 machine guns there firing through the propeller. This is still quite narrow. The tail is really sort of diabolical looking, isn't it? Look at that tail. It's like something out of a Roger Ramjet cartoon, or Snoopy cartoon or something. I don't know, but that's a real distinctive looking tail, isn't it? It looks like an eagle's wing when it's diving. It pulls its wing in. When an eagle's diving, it does. Like when an eagle's diving, it pulls its wings in and makes that shape. It's just an interesting observation. Interesting to me. So yeah, look at this radial engine. So many cylinders on it. Is it one of those rotary ones that spins? I freaking hope not, because imagine the torque. But how many cylinders? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 12 cylinders. My goodness. 220 horsepower. And when we're talking about aircraft engines, we're talking about, if it's 220 horsepower, it's basically 220 horsepower all day long, as opposed to a car engine that might be able to get to 300 horsepower, but most of the time it's using about maybe 70 horsepower, you know what I mean? Aero engines are really hardcore. They're capable of operating at or near 100% power for like hours at a time, which car engines are not designed to do that. So I think I've got full fuel. I think my opponent's got full fuel. Just get the rudder pedal. For some reason my track IR is not working. Well, the rudder's very effective. Did I just have a collision? I think I just had a collision with the Sopwith. Yeah, the propeller's gone. Oh, and it is a radial, it is a rotary as well. So now the rotary is spinning without a propeller. The propeller's gone, thanks to that collision. Got my rudder pedals under the table, very effective. It's obviously, so the propeller's kind of there and it's kind of not there in this configuration. So that's kind of an error. The spinner is just disappearing and coming back again. Once again, our expert testers have really outdone themselves in testing the plane and overcoming the immediately visible errors. Honestly, people are in the tester role just so that they can have the status in the forum and in the Discord as tester. Oh, you're an elite tester, and then you get shit like this. Why does the spinner keep materializing and dematerializing before our eyes after a basic accident collision? Why? Let's start again. I mean, seriously, what do these testers do? There's an error right there, like in the first 10 seconds, and that's incompetence. You might think that I'm nitpicking or that I'm being harsh, but what I've discovered is that the testing team, half of them are narcissists, and they're just there so that they can have power connections to the developers and the executive producer. They want those power connections, and they can get them by being a tester. And they want the status, the elite status of being a tester in the community. And in that context, you can see that I'm not nitpicking. I've got a valid complaint there, valid concern. Where's my tracer? Yeah, so my track IR is not working. It doesn't matter at all though in single player. You can just press F8 and then you can lock onto the target. I have the instinct to keep using track IR though. Your speed is too low. Hopefully it's not going to like stall and spin or something. Looks like I don't have any particular competitive advantage against the Sopwith in terms of turning and stuff like that, so you reload the guns. Right, I don't know how to reload the guns because it's not assigned. Maybe I'll just have a quick look. Sorry about this interruption. Key mapping, weapon controls. Reload all guns, left, out, R. Middle mouse button as well. What if I make it some different button somewhere? Yeah, that might come in handy. That's got. Let's have a quick look at the plane while it's just flying along in auto level. So it's a pretty neat plane, isn't it? Pretty neat plane. It's definitely like a high-tech World War I plane compared to the beginning. More use of metal up front, metal nacelle. Very, very strong looking plane. Very refined looking struts. It has the similar strut configuration of the Fokker D7. Very refined struts, and then the wing bracing too, very refined. It's still there, it's still got struts, it's still got wing bracing wires and on the wheels as well, but it's refined. It's just very more streamlined as far as World War I planes go. Let's see now if I can land. I'm just going to I doubt this will work, but I'm just going to try and land in the field somewhere. The reason why I say I doubt that'll work is that lately crash landings when you're not on a runway have not been working at all. Like, it's just instant death. Instant death if you've got the wheels up on a World War II plane, and instant rollover if you've got the wheels down. Better than expected. It's a moment. It's a landing moment. Don't you hate the way people are now saying moment? Moment this, moment that. Oh, you had a landing moment. Oh, it's a moment. Shut the fuck up. How about you have a shut the moment? Alright. Yeah, so that's looking pretty good, isn't it? With the prop at idle like that, spinning like that, that's very realistic. How it looks like that. Probably gives some of you epilepsy though. Oh, look at that, huh? Oh God. Look away. You can see the radial spinning as well as the props, so that's good. Engine stop. Stopper. Alright, good. Yeah, I mean, it's not a radial, is it? It's a rotary. So yeah, that's that one. The gun doesn't fire when the prop stopped. So you probably got twin Spandau 7.98mm machine guns or something. Let's have a quick look at the pilot. He's got a watch. Yeah, he's got a watch. Cool, he's got a watch. Pretty hard to do this manoeuvring around. There we go. So there's the pilot. Good. He doesn't look like a North African. There's still some hope that IL-2 hasn't gone woke. Which they're probably on the verge of getting a tranny or something in there. I wouldn't be surprised the way things are going. A woke North African. Anyways, all right. So let's now switch it around and we'll fly the Sopwith Snipe. I personally think the pilot model should be modelled on the historical characters. So the ones flying, for example, in the Soviet planes can be all of the Soviet hero pilots, like their big medal winners and stuff, and vice versa. Say, what was that guy's name, Bong, who flew the P-38 for America, Richard Bong, Big Bong. And so we're going to fly the Sopwith now. By the way, I don't have any Flying Circus on this account, so I just have the 2 Flying Circus planes. Like, you could fly as Werner Mulders for the Luftwaffe if they'd model Werner Mulders in there. What am I doing? Essential powers. And where is it? SSW, right? Yeah, there. Let's change the skin on the SSW. Oops, can't do that from here, can you? And the snipe, the Sopwith snipe. Yeah, you could fly as Adolf Galland. Imagine that. What was the Stuka pilot? Hans Ulrich Rudel. You could fly as Rudel in a Stuka. Imagine that. It's totally possible to do that. This is where my hardcoreness meets modern day pressure of political correctness. I want to fly a Stuka as Hans Ulrich Rudel, but of course the devs will never do it because there's too much political correctness pressure that says, oh no, you can't fly a Stuka as Hans Ulrich Rudel. Oh no, you can't do that. That would be too much. Wouldn't it be ideal though? I can't even see because the damn webcam's in the way. Alright, who cares? Let's go. So immediately I see we've got a sunroof. Pity I don't have the track IR working. You thought the tail on the SSW was weird and radical. Check out the tail on the Sopwith Snipe. So this is like a beefed up Sopwith Camel, I would say. Probably, I think it has a 220 horsepower engine or a 200. One of these two has the 220 and the other one has the 200. Now this is a well put together looking plane. I mean, it looks good, doesn't it? It also has a rotary engine. So this to me looks like a Sopwith Camel that they've just gone, right, let's put a bigger engine in a Camel. Let's strengthen the fuselage a bit. Let's give it double dihedral on both the wings, not just the bottom wing like the Camel, but the top wing too. So the top wing has dihedral, it slopes like that, whereas in the Camel the top wing actually has a slight anhedral, which Sopwith himself, I think, said that they did it just to save money and save time in building the plane. But so this one is more like a luxury plane. They've designed it, built it exactly how they wanted it. The fuselage is a bit fatter as well, in line with the diameter of the engine. And there's our enemy there. So you know, like 200 to 220 horsepower is a lot of power, actually. A lot of power. Torque of the engine, you can really feel it, just like with the old Sopwith, with the Camel. Alright, so there you go, that's a dogfight, destroyed him down. Let's try for a landing. So what do you reckon, guys? What do you reckon about these? Sorry, I haven't got the comments turned on, so I can't see if anyone's commented or anything. Sorry about that if anyone's commented, but yeah, so I'm streaming this on my backup channel as well, and it'll appear on my normal channel in a couple of days' time. So everything now appears on my backup channel first as a way to induce people to come over and subscribe and watch first on my backup channel, because I need to build up 1,000 subscribers on the backup channel. Drifting along and along and along and along and along. With the power off, we're drifting and drifting and drifting and drifting and drifting and drifting, 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 drifting. Whoa! Splat. Whoa! Come on, that's a bit crazy. There's some sensitivity with contact with the ground these days. I like the crash damage, but like that explosion like that, that's like hitting a barrel full of black powder or something in a pirate ship. Strong plane, good plane. All right, so that's basically it. So that's basically it. So yeah, thanks very much for coming along for this flight. We had a look at these planes, aren't they nice? So they're on sale now, so go and get them. Cheers, guys. Frog out. Oh, and remember to subscribe to the channel. I need 1,000 subscribers, so please kindly subscribe. Hit the subscribe button and bang the bell so you get notified when I go live and when I release